Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. Welcome back, Warriors. It is MS Awareness Week in the States, inside of MS Awareness Month. It's gorgeous out. I feel terrible. Terry, let's roll.
What's up, buddy? You know why you feel terrible? It's because of the hour change.
I could so do without that. I
Yeah.
would be fine if it just went away forever.
I changed all my clocks like at 8 p.m. to get
Yeah,
used to the hour change already.
yeah.
And then it was like, so yeah, I slept pretty late because of the hour change. Whatever. It's like an hour. Anyway, how is it Awareness Week in the middle of Awareness Month?
I don't make the rules, Terry.
This is edgy, Nick.
Yeah, this is no sleep. Listen, I spent all last night listening to four guys from Ancient Aliens, so my mind is blown.
What is that? I saw that post.
Yeah, so the guys from the show go around and they do like a live discussion. They talk about stuff that they don't talk about on the show. Like they go deeper into their personal experiences at the sites and stuff like that. And then they have a Q&A session. It's kind of like a Comic-Con panel, but just
Cool.
for just for that show. And
And
at the last minute, I got switched in because kid had the flu, so I said, of course I would go with it, you know?
that sucks that she has a flu. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It's hope she gets better soon. Um, trying my best to be a caregiver,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but trying to do more than we can do is, you're pushing yourself even harder. So that's another thing, like we want to. That's a whole other topic, being the caregiver for your caregiver when the time comes, something we don't often think about.
I get it, man. I get it. I don't know what to say.
So I'm
You know,
running on limited sleep, limited energy.
I feel like I went through something a few months ago where friends had issues, and I
Hmm.
I went through little fuzz in my mind where I'm like, I don't got time for your issues. I got my own issues. But that was really selfish of me. You know what I mean? Because I was going through a funk.
Yeah,
So I'm, just bear with it, bro. She'll get
yeah,
better soon.
yeah. I'm hanging in there. Thanks. But yeah, it was a fun time last night. The theater is a little older. Um, I decided, I opted to use the cane since we didn't have time to plan ahead for, accessible seating.
Yeah.
Um, the parking situation was not great. I ended up having to walk about 2 blocks just to get to the theater. Um, for those in the area, those who live around me, it was the Keswick Theater. So it's in the middle of a main street in a neighborhood. So there's no like dedicated stadium type parking. It's just there's like a little parking lot out back, but then you have to like park in the neighborhood. So,
Who did you walk with?
well, I was with my father-in-law, which it was a Christmas present for him, and then two friends of ours. Um, so it was a good time. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was just more than I was expecting.
How did he walk? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
So were you at any time were you starting to drag your foot?
Oh yeah, from the minute I got out of the car.
And has he seen that before?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, he's one of my support network. Um,
Good.
so he fully understands what I mean, and so did my friends. They know what's up. So,
I know, bro. The reason why I ask is because there was times when people know I have MS and they've seen me with a cane, but they've never seen it because I've always hid the foot drag,
oh right,
the drop, whatever. So
yeah.
yeah, that's
But
all.
no, it was a good time. It was a good show. Um,
Cool.
it was just a little more physically than I was ready for, but it's okay. So then we have kid. Then I come home, kid still has the flu. Then the hour. Then So I'm not complaining. It's just that's why I seem I'm pushing harder than normal. Um,
Yeah, man.
but it was a good time. It was a good show. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge
Cool.
believer. I'm one of the faithful when it comes to the ancient alien stuff.
Yo, I'm a big believer, bro. I am. I'm open-minded, man. Whatever that means.
And then I wake up to an automated email. It's one of those things from the MS Society.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my email.
No, not your email. No. And it talks about stuff that's going on in the government. I know we're usually not a political show,
Yeah,
so not getting too political, but it's kind of a cause that hits close to home to me and you is, MS funding for MS research.
of course, man.
So I don't know if I have to look into it, but I'm sure they wouldn't put it out there as the MS Society if it wasn't accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it says the proposed continuing resolution to fund the government through fiscal year 2025 strips funding from the Department of Defense's correctional or congressionally mandated medical research program, the CDMRP, putting MS research program or the MSRP funding at risk for 2025. So I don't know how much, so I have to look into it a little bit more, but that's the email I woke up to today. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, that's not great. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand. I understand that currently they're on a tear to overhaul things, but I don't know. I kind of feel like Department of Defense funding for medical research probably should not be one of the things that they cut into. So I'll have to keep an eye on it and keep you up to date.
It sucks when we don't, when it feels like we're not prioritized, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I feel you, man. That to
And
me, that's a direct insult, but yeah.
and that funding
Mm-hmm.
um isn't only for us. I mean, the that research or the MS research program, yes, but the broader picture is a portion of that money from the Department of Defense funds all sorts of medical stuff, like cancer research, Alzheimer's research, like the list goes on and on. So I hope they. So of course there's an action alert now. They want you to reach out to your representatives and Congress people to say, hey, don't mess with our funding. Um, and now's a good time to do that since it is MS Awareness Week month.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look into that. I don't even know if we have a weak Americans. No, I'm just joking. Today we're gonna find out who replaces Justin Trudeau.
Oh, were they already? That was
Yeah,
quick.
that's what I think. But he's not gonna. They're not gonna change today. They're gonna find
Oh,
out who, and then I believe it takes some time. Yeah,
yeah. So there's a lot happening this year.
yeah,
My goodness. Nice shirt,
yeah.
by the way.
Thanks, buddy. You too. We did not arrange the red.
Sure, sure.
He said it's Awareness Month, but that's not why. Anyway, okay. So today we have a guest. I don't even know how to say his name, man.
Oh,
Usually I do research galore. We all know this.
yeah.
This guy is not in social media. He's
Okay.
nowhere. I don't even know his last name. So it's roulette. We'll see what we get.
That's not how you play the roulette. That's that you were rolling the dice.
It's roulette. Spin the wheel.
There you go.
We'll see.
I was like, what? I was like, I know I'm tired.
Dude, I know it's just an hour change, but it really does affect me. And every minute of the night, I'm looking at the time, like, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
12:30. I gotta go to bed. It was 1:30 by the time I passed out. And
So I guess that's a good question for the audience. The question is, how does the time change affect you?
yeah,
If you live in an area that, changes their time. I know we have a couple areas. Do you have anywhere that doesn't change?
yeah. Saskatchewan area, the prairies area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I learned the hard way because I once ran a support group for them. And I'm like, what time do they want the support group So I'm like, you know what? They want it at 7 p.m. So I'm like, okay. So I did it, which is 8 p.m. my time because there was no daylight savings time at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when daylight savings time happened, it went to 9 p.m. for me and they stayed at 7. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not working for me anymore.
Mm.
So I didn't even realize that we had a province that doesn't switch.
Huh.
Yeah. And I heard that it's not going to happen in the States either. I know people were talking about it. They said they want it to happen, but it seems like more mothers or parents wanted it not to happen because they want more day sunlight during the day morning so they can walk their kids to the school. I get it. I get it. Right? Whatever. They want to be
That,
safe.
whole-
You
that whole
know,
thing's confusing.
whatever.
It really is. I never understood it. I always heard it was the farmers. I heard it was for the trains. I heard it was to save, you know, uh, gasoline.
Dude,
Uh,
I never knew the
like,
reason.
yeah,
Straight up. I never knew it was as simple as we just want more daylight. We just want more, I never knew that was the reason. I thought it was
yeah.
some timing
It's
issue.
it's the same amount of daylight.
Whatever, bro. I never cared for it either.
Uh, just do away with clocks. When the
I
sun goes
always,
up, let's work. When the sun goes down, let's go to bed.
I liked it when it got dark at 5 p.m. over here because I don't feel guilty when I try to go to bed at 8 p.m. and the sun's not out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things we talk about. I think it does. I think it does mess with my symptoms a little bit. Fatigue goes up this week. I'll tell you, it's usually Wednesday of whatever week we change. So it's like the third or fourth day after we change is when I really am struggling. Um, so
Didn't you
we'll see.
also have your infusion like a couple weeks ago or a month ago?
No, that was January.
Was that a while ago now?
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Dude,
We're
time
in, we're in the
flies.
spring already almost.
Time flies. I got mine coming up in April 11th. So we'll see how my crap gap hits me. Hopefully it doesn't, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, and I just found out yesterday, 2 days ago, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. Time is just going away from me now. The closest hospital to me, the
Yeah.
one where I get my infusions, they're closing the whole hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is now the third hospital in my county. No, wait. Roger, Taylor, Fitz, Delco. That's the fourth hospital that's closing in my area.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're down to now, we had five, six-ish, six hospitals, I think, would we consider close. Now we're down to one.
Okay.
So that's not going to be fun because I don't even know where I'm getting my infusion. I'm still waiting to hear where I'd have to go for that.
Yeah.
So
But they're gonna let you know, man. They're gonna tell you. They have to.
the county officials announced, I don't know, like I said 2 days ago, that the hospital, not that the hospital would be closing, that the hospital would be closing in 8 days.
Okay.
So it's like, so that
Dude, that's messed up. Because what if you have an appointment coming up in a week?
right.
That's messed up, man.
What if in 9 days you suffer a trauma that needs immediate attention? You have to be.
Was this known for like a year that it was
It
gonna
was
close down?
it was rumored that it was in trouble, and we knew that it was like up for sale, like the whole health system was up for sale. But you know, so hopefully somebody swoops in, some other health network
Weird.
swoops in, buys it all up, and restarts the whole thing. But I was telling people when we were talking about it, I said, listen, I said, Terry and I talk to people all over the place, and they tell us how hard it is to get into to see doctors, how much time it takes, how far away their neurologist is, like that kind of stuff. I said, so now we're just like the rest of the country where we're not so lucky that we have 6, 7 hospitals around us, you know?
We got a lot of hospitals too, but not. Sounds like you have a lot of hospitals around you, man.
Yeah, I'm talking within a 20, 25-mile radius. So
Okay.
not far at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. So, I mean, there's so many things to think about. I mean, everyone's kind of panicking right now because we're kind of now in a healthcare, we're getting to be in a healthcare desert where it
Yeah.
is going to be hard to find and deal with a specialist. Um, whomever is left is going to be overrun with patients now at this point. Um, so we'll see. I already made my plans. I already have. Luckily, my neurologist is not affected. He is part of a different healthcare network.
Okay.
So that's good to know. Um, but like I said, my infusion site, my primary, uh, who else? My sleep doctor. I don't know. There's probably more that I can't think of, but at least those I know already. I have to find alternates to.
I can't do that, man. I need full control right from the get go. So like, when are you gonna find out all the stuff? Are you just like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it? Because that's not me, man. I'm like, I need to know now.
This week I'll get on it. I'll
Cool.
start finding other doctors that take my insurance, which is easy because I have Medicare, so they all pretty much take Medicare, so I can go wherever I want, pretty much.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, it's just now I have to start over.
Yeah.
I have to have records transferred. It's just how it is. Anybody that's gone through it knows it's just a gigantic hassle.
Yeah.
And now you're with somebody that you have to be with, not that you know what I mean, that you want to be with. So
Yeah.
you kind of stuck. So hopefully I do all right. Um, so that's, thankfully it's one of those things where you just ask people and look for reviews and hope for the best because you do need somebody to evaluate you.
Yeah. I haven't gone through that yet. So let me know how it goes.
And I
Mm,
know the local so the closest hospital is staying open because it is in a different healthcare network, but
okay.
they're the ones they're going to be overrun by the other four. So
Okay.
they've already when I was there, I think I was there like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I already saw them expanding their emergency department. Like I saw this gigantic renovation happening, and I asked the security guard, I was like, "You guys preparing?" He said, "Yep." I was like, "Ah."
Not to add this in. Add this in. I learned a new word. The
Okay.
pits.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? Someone's like, hey, did you watch the show The Pits? I'm
Oh, the
like,
pit.
the pit? Oh, the
Yeah.
pit. My bad. My bad. The
Yeah.
pit.
The S threw me off.
I'm like, PIT? They're like, no,
PITT.
no, PITT. I'm like, what is that show about? It's like, then they explain to me. It's
It's
like
it's
ER. It's
yeah,
more realistic.
it's the same guy. It's ER 2.0.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
So someone referred that to me. So I'm like, I'll check it out. And then I was watching the first episode. And first episode, some arm was open. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is not for me. You know how I am.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not for
Yeah.
me.
It's the ER that it's the ER that they can make now
Yeah.
because they can curse and they can show the injuries.
But the pit, yeah, yeah, that's nasty. That's
Yeah.
the pit is the Pittsburgh ER,
Yes.
right? Okay, that's what the
Yep. That's why it has two T's.
okay, cool. I've never heard that before because people are like, you've never heard of the pit? I'm like, no, I've never heard of the pit. Okay.
Yeah. We call them
That's
the ones
crazy.
that we call them the people who don't root for the Flyers or Eagles. That's who we call them.
Who's the Eagles?
Or the Phillies.
Joking. Joking, bro. We got our guest in the waiting room.
All right. All right. So you don't know his name.
I do know his name. I don't know how
Um,
to pronounce it. I
oh,
do not
okay.
want to disrespect anyone.
I gotcha.
So we'll get him to introduce himself.
And he's from, where's he from? DC?
Yes.
And he's one of us, right? He's an MS
He,
warrior.
he's an MS warrior from DC. Yeah.
All right, let's bring him in.
Awesome.
This unknown mystery guest.
Unknown. What's up, man? What's going
What's
on,
going
bro?
on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome,
And I
man.
appreciate you for bringing me on your show. You mean on the podcast and letting me share, man.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. We got a lot to talk about. Trust me.
All right.
Got a lot to talk about, bro.
Yo, please, your name. Please tell me how to say your name so I don't mess it up.
So it's Aton. Aton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aton.
Aton.
All right.
Aton.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to pronounce it wrong.
No, that's cool.
Aton, I'm Nick. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm from outside of Philly.
Okay. Okay.
I won't hold the Nats hat against you.
Yeah. Well, you guys won a Super Bowl, didn't you?
Super Bowl. We're about to win a World Series. A lot going on up here.
Okay. All right. All right.
Man, I don't feel like I have much of an introduction. I'm Terry from Canada.
Okay. Oh yeah, Canada. It's a lot going. Look, it's a lot going on over there too.
The 51st state. No, just joking.
Right.
I'm joking, Canada. I'm
Right.
joking.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Welcome to the show, Aton. So happy to have you with us. So happy that you want to share your story with us and everybody. Please, let's start at the beginning. When were you diagnosed? How did it affect your life? Let's start there.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed about, I would say, roughly about 4 years ago. But from what my neurologist, the neuro that the initial, well, the first neuro that I I saw, she pretty much was like, yeah, you've had this thing for about 10 years, easy. But I, me personally, like, I never really, I didn't like, how can I don't even know I don't even know how to start, man. I mean, from the beginning, okay, so I would just be walking, you know, and trip, and I never really thought anything about it, like, but it started to get more. I started to trip. It was just seemed like I was just
Clumsy.
super clumsy, you know. So to make a long story short, man, I didn't know what was going on, and then it was like I was like somewhat like hiking my hip. I was like limping and things like that, and my friends, my family saw it, and I thought it was like a back spasm or something. You know, I didn't even really think. I thought I had some type of, I don't know. You know, I was self-diagnosing myself instead of
Yeah.
actually going. You know, not even thinking of MS. You know, I didn't even know what MS was. You know, I didn't know anybody who had MS. No one in my family has MS. So, I mean, I didn't, you know, think of
Yeah.
MS, right?
Bro, the same story, man.
Yeah,
And you just got it 4 years ago. That's fresh. Sorry, go
right,
ahead. Yeah.
right. And my first neurologist, Dr. Heidi Creighton, she's awesome, by the way. You know, and she, you know, so what happened? So what I did was actually, well, my first neurologist was a lady from MedStar, Dr. Ho. She is out of Washington D.C. and she told me I needed to get a spinal tap. And I was a little leery about that because anything done with your spine, I was just like having the needles. I didn't really, I just the process, I was Googling on, I was like, spinal tap, that's uncomfortable. I'm not trying to do that. And based off, because she just wanted to just confirm, you know, with that
Mhm.
spinal tap though. But the MRIs to show lesions, not too much on my brain, but on my spine. Like I had a lot of lesions, you know, on my, you know, like on my spine. So she was like, it looks like MS, but I just want to confirm. And I was like, I'm not doing a spinal tap. So I just went ahead and found another neuro, and which was Dr. Heidi Creighton. And she was like, hey, you know, she was like, I'm not going. She basically, she said, I'm not going to BS you. You have MS. I mean, that's just what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But we're going to attack it aggressively. So she put me on these I think I forgot the name of it. It was like a steroid,
Sure.
and that was the
Prednisone.
best. Huh?
Prednisone.
There it goes. Bro, when I say that was the best, that was like a magic pill, like a magic
Yeah.
drug, not a pill, but because it was intravenously.
Yeah.
I felt like I could take on the world. I felt like
Yeah.
I felt like my legs were great, like bionic knees, bionic legs. I was just, but
Yeah.
um, and then that story ended.
I was gonna say, and then
So
they wear
Yeah.
off.
then it wears off, and I was just like, you know, but um, then she had put me on I think the DMT Tysabri, the
Okay. Yeah.
which I'm sure you guys are familiar with that disease modification treatment.
Yep.
That's one of many.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually on Kesimpta now, which
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I self inject myself
Good.
now
Yeah.
every month.
Now, why'd you come off Tysabri, if you don't mind me asking? Because I can tell you why I did. I came off
Uh,
because my JC numbers went up.
yeah, same here.
Okay.
Same thing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I guess mine were already kind of high. I guess
Mhm.
already, which is weird because so when I switched, like I said, I've been through probably like four different neuros, trying to find, uh, like I said, they're all great, but I was a little leery about, that brain that little brain disease. I
Yeah.
forgot.
It's called
PML.
PML.
PML, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I was a little leery about that. So
Sure.
I went to another neuro.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
took me off that. They were like, "Hey, we're going to put you on Kesimpta," and
Okay.
I mean, I've been on Kesimpta ever since.
How's that been doing for you?
I mean, honestly, bro, there's no, I guess it's to stabilize our situation. Me
Yeah.
and these
Yeah.
DM, but it's no miracle drug out here. I don't think. I mean, I don't.
No.
I did the Botox thing in my leg and all this other shit. And excuse my language, but I was
No, no,
just,
no,
Okay.
no.
I can't,
Swear. It's okay.
it's just like, it was just, I was so frustrated because I was just like,
Yeah.
man, I'm 38.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's frustrating, bro. Like it's
Let me
frustrating.
ask you. We don't hear too many people who have firsthand experience using Botox. There's a couple we know, but what was what talk about the decision to do it and how it was while you were using it? Because walk us through it because we don't know. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, Faria Amjad, that's another neuro I was dealing with. And she was like, you know what, it'll help out with your spasticity, the stiffness, because my right leg is is extremely stiff. But now it's both my legs. It's crazy. Like that's why I was like, and honestly, the baclofen. I mean, I was gonna say baclofen. I actually take. I'm looking at my pills right here. So I was like, yeah, the
Yeah.
baclofen, nah. But the Botox. I mean, it was okay. Like it. I think. I mean, like I said, it helped. It did help a little bit with the spasticity. It helped, my limbs to. I was able to kind of stretch and and I wasn't as stiff. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
so yeah, it wasn't I did like I think I did it twice and they shot
Okay.
this long needle. They all in the back of my leg and my knee and all over the place. And it was okay, but again, it's a temporary it's like a
What do you
temporary
mean?
fix. I just feel like temporary. I'm putting a band-aid on the but it's still there. Your issue's still there, you know.
What do
Yeah.
you mean all over the place? How many needles did you get? And
Uh,
to me, it's either a yay or a nay. Like it works or it doesn't work. You know what I mean? It has to be
right,
so evident to work for me to stay on something. How many
right.
needles did you get?
I would say roughly, um, she probably about seven, probably like seven shots, like
Damn.
throughout my leg. Yeah, 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 yeah. And they'll put this little. It wasn't really. It wasn't comfortable at all. Put it. I'll leave it at that. It wasn't comfortable, but I mean, like I said, it was a temporary, relief, for my situation. But I mean, again, it was back to
Yeah.
being the Tin Man. So
Yeah.
yeah, 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 bro.
Question I have is I know a lot of people are going to ask you this, or people have asked you this. Can you walk right now?
Um, I can,
but it's
but I do. I had I have my I use my cane right here.
Sure. Yep.
I call it my third leg, and yeah. I mean, yeah, I need the cane, like I need it. But then, and at one point though, I was kind of you know, I was like, nah, I'm not. I'm not gonna use a cane, or I'm not gonna use a walker, a rollator, But I have a friend of mine named Harlan, um, and he's from New York, but he lives down in Florida now, and he's also been a great like mentor in this situation for me.
Sure.
And I actually, me and him actually met through Instagram. I actually seeked him out through the MS community is amazing. Though I will say that though. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love the MS community,
Does he
man.
have MS?
He
I didn't.
does. He
Oh man, I
does.
didn't even know. Okay, cool.
He
I
does.
mean, not
Yeah.
cool, but
And I'm
No.
assuming that as a good friend and as a part of your support system, he was like, listen, don't be ashamed of the cane. Don't be
Definitely.
like he was like, just you have
Definitely.
to use it. Otherwise you're gonna be limiting yourself.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
And possibly hurting yourself. I mean, like,
yeah,
it's safety. I mean, I wasn't and I'm an elevator mechanic as well. So, that's even challenge. I work at the Capitol, United States Capitol. And
okay.
yeah, and even at work it can be challenging, but working in the federal government, they do have accommodations, right?
Sure.
So they
Sure.
uh they worked with me. I actually have a scooter that they bought. The agency bought me a
Okay.
scooter. Yeah, yeah.
good.
I'm pretty special, man. I'm they definitely look out. They definitely look out for their guys, and
That's what's up.
definitely look out for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Dare I ask how's the mood in that building today, or are we just gonna skip over that?
Oh man. It's never a dull moment, and I'm gonna just leave it at that, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
yeah,
But
right, yeah, right.
but I got a question about your Casenta because I know a few people on it, and I know they have to order it and they have to. I hate that, man. I hate the fact that okay, my Casenta shot I have to take it in 2 weeks or 1 week. It
Right,
has to get delivered to my pharmacy, or
right.
does it get delivered to your home?
Well, mine gets delivered to my house.
Okay.
My wife is of course, man. She's my number one supporter, my
Mhm.
biggest fan, and she does all the ordering. She does all the all the things that I need for
Mhm.
my situation. She makes sure those things, make sure it's in order. But yeah, it comes to my house, um, and yeah, I mean, the funny thing about Kesimpta, what I have read, and I do want to share this. It seems like towards like right. So I take it on the 11th of every month, and like right now, like a week before I'm supposed to take it, I feel I'm all over the place. Like, I mean, I feel drained, and my legs are even just more heavy. And I mean, I mean, my mobility is just whack. It's just shot. I mean, so it's like, yeah, yeah. And I don't know if that's supposed to happen. I don't know if they call it a crap. I believe it's a crap gap or whatever that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
waiting for Nick to say
I was gonna
something.
say that's why Terry and I were smiling at each other because we're like, man, I didn't know Key Simta had crap gap too.
right, right,
I've never
right,
heard of
right.
crab gap until Nick told me about it. And
Because
then all of a sudden I hear it everywhere.
Terry and I are both on Ocrevus.
Really? Every
Yeah,
6 months, right?
every 6 months.
How do
And
you guys like that? That's cool. I mean,
it's same, it's
same
one of
thing.
those things, it's kind of the mindset of we know it's working, we hope it's
Right,
working, but we're
right,
like, is it really working?
right,
Because then if we say, well, if I stop, it feels like the only way we know if our medicine's actually working is if we stop, which we
right,
shouldn't do. But
right,
if you stop
right,
it, then all of a sudden you get a little worse and you go, oh, it was doing something. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right,
so,
right,
Yeah.
but it's fine. It's just uh, it's just like a half a day
right,
total. Um,
right.
and same thing about 3 weeks before you start feeling really weird and
Really
terrible and
weird.
tired and
Yeah, yeah.
I,
irritable and
I'm new to the drug, so this is going to be like my third dosage. So it's coming up. So I'm going to see if the crap gap's going to hit me even harder. But I
Right.
wanted to go on Kesimpta, just so you know. I went to my neurologist. By the way, a lot of Canadians are like, oh, what? You had 4 or 5 different neurologists? Dude, it's so hard for us to get one,
Yeah.
especially with the shortage that's happening right now. But
Yeah.
I wanted to go on Kesimpta because I wanted to do the shot, because I've done the shots before. I've done interferon betas where you have to administer them yourself.
Really.
It's kind of different than Kesimpta, because now Kesimpta has the patented, did I patented injector, right?
Right.
Where it comes
Right.
and
Right. Right.
it's filled up already. But anyway, I wanted to get that Kesimpta, and then my neurologist said no, Ocrevus is better for you because something to do with the white blood cell count that he saw and stuff like that.
Right. 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 Right.
But
Right. Right.
yeah, so I'm on Ocrevus anyway. I don't know. Did I just go side note on that? Anyway.
No, no,
No,
no,
you're
no,
good.
no, 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 no. You could, man. I mean, I wanted it was crazy. I wanted to be on Ocrevus. Like I was just like, why can't I don't know why they never put me on Ocrevus. I don't know why that wasn't even. I mean, it was never talked about. And I think a lot of my neuros they were kind of getting tired of me because I was always kind
Hmm.
of bringing them like information or new like DMTs that probably I don't
Yeah.
know like I'll be bring I'm like hey look why don't you guys they're like I'm the doctor
Right.
let
Right.
us do like and I just like
Well,
all right
I'll tell you this because we can look it up here. I don't know if Terry has the ability up there in Canada if they even have a requirement, but you can actually Google um, who gives your neuro money. So you can see what drug company gives your neurologist money,
really
what, how much, when they have to report it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but you can, if you search hard enough, you'll find it. And at the time, I found out that the neurologist that I had recommended a drug, and I thought it was because it was the best possible drug, and maybe it was, but
right
just coincidentally, when I was turned on to this by somebody else, I searched my doctor and found out that he was receiving money from the company that made the drug that I was on.
really
Yeah, so
What?
you can't they have to report where they get gifts and stuff like that from. And they have to tell you what kind. Like, did they get a trip? Did they get lunches? Did they get whatever?
Yo, did you call your doctor on this? Do you say
No, I
that's
just
one way to
left.
piss off your doctor?
Yeah, I just found another doctor.
Yo, that's crazy.
And
what
I went into my second neuro and said, "Hey, listen, I don't want to be on this DMT. I want you to put me on a DMT that is appropriate." Because I was real young, like you. I was 34, you know.
uh,
Um, so I said, "Listen, I'm young enough. I'm other than the MS, I'm healthy enough.
right
What's the most impactful drug I could be on? Let's hit it as hard as we can with a
right
sledgehammer because I'm young, you know?"
right of course right
So and it ended up being the drug I was on was the same drug that that I was recommended to be on by this new neuro, but I appreciated the fact that it was an unbiased opinion.
right
You know what I'm saying? So
right
even though the first one got it right, I didn't like the fact that I felt like he got it right just because he was in with the company. I don't know. It was a personal thing
gotcha
for me.
I hear you,
gotcha
man. Of
So
course.
gotcha
look
have you
into it.
guys heard of Ampera
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
they call it the walking magic pill or
Yeah.
something yeah
Yeah. I think I'm on a generic version of that. I'm on Delfamperdine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
yeah
So
How's it working
yeah
for you?
I haven't even started it.
Oh, okay.
I've been scared of it. I was actually. I know this may sound crazy, but like, cause I heard about seizures and people seizing out and falling out
Right.
and stuff. So I was a little leery about taking it.
Right.
I've had this for about maybe 6 months, and my neurologist is like, "Do you take it? Why don't you try?
Yeah.
It's nothing's gonna happen."
Well,
And,
I'll tell you this from personal experience.
okay,
I'm on that. Well, Delfamperdine. I'm on that, and I take that in combination with gabapentin,
okay.
and I take ibuprofen, and um, I'm a medical marijuana card holder. So I have
Gotcha.
all of those things every day, and I've suffered no side effects from combining all of those things. Plus, I have the Ocrevus on top of all that. So that's just my experience.
Wow. Wow. Well, that makes me feel better.
And the nice
I
thing
mean,
about,
just to hear, yeah.
yeah, that you're welcome, and thanks for. But I will say this: there have been times Ampera or Dalfampridine is a drug you can start and stop without any real issue because I've missed doses. I've been hospitalized and forgotten to take it. I've forgotten to tell the hospital staff I was on it. And
Really?
so I've gone like at most, I think 5 days. Now, disclaimer, check with your doctor, all
Right,
those
right,
medical
right,
stuff. But
right.
um, so I've been up to 5 days off of it and then started it right up again with no issue. So,
Really?
because my
Do
neurologist,
you really feel like it makes it does do you feel like it do you feel a difference when you're on it and then versus like when you took that 5 day or you miss it or whatever, you're like, okay, I didn't take
I,
it.
I can tell you that it's one of those drugs for me that I didn't feel anything when I started taking it because I was like, oh, this is doing nothing. Like
Right.
I feel exactly the same. My walking hasn't gotten any better.
Right, 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 right.
But then when I stopped it for those couple of times, I absolutely knew that I wasn't on it. The cramping was
That's
back.
crazy. Wow.
It
Dude,
yeah, it
I
was
feel like you're
very
telling my
noticeable.
story, man. Did I not share this before?
You did.
I got stories about Pampura too. And yeah, everyone's scared of the seizures because you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach, right? 12
Eh,
hours, 12 hours.
12 hours, yeah, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, how long do I take it after I eat? Two
Right, right,
hours, 1 hour
right.
before you eat. Dude,
Wait, you're supposed to, this is not a joke. You're actually supposed to take it on an empty stomach?
don't worry. Don't stress out. I'll tell you
All
a
right.
story. Okay. Yes. Yes.
I take it at breakfast and dinner every
Right.
day.
No, no, empty stomach, bro. But
Oh,
again,
shit.
let me tell you a story. There's someone that so I was taking it and I'm like, this is not working. Again, it has to either work or not work for me.
Right,
Like the evidence has to be so factual. Like, so
right,
I didn't feel like anything was happening. I stopped taking it, just like Nick said. When I stopped taking it, I'm in a chair, bro. I wasn't in a chair before. I should have used walkers. I should have used canes, but I didn't because I had pride. So
right,
I kind of made my legs weaker than they should have been. But
right,
I was taking it and I was transferring, and I'm like, oh, nothing's happening. And then once I stopped taking it, I'm like, yo, it was doing something. Like
really,
every time I transferred, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how much it was doing. I didn't try it long enough. So anyway, I stopped. But I had a friend that I said, yeah, I don't like it because you got to take an empty stomach. I'm worried about the seizures. She's like,
right,
what? Just like Nick. She's like,
right,
I take it here. I take it sometimes 11. I'm like, yo, you got to be careful. Like the
right,
seizures are serious. And she's like, I've
right,
been taking it for 10 years and nothing's happened.
really,
So, but yo, be careful. I'm not saying like just, but
right,
that's what I heard. And I'm like, yo, so it's a precaution that you should take. But
Yeah.
right, right,
Yeah. Yeah, it is, but I'm definitely not taking it because like I said, they're definitely not 12 hours apart every day. And they're definitely with food because because I definitely have breakfast and dinner with
right,
with it.
right,
dude, that's funny. I want to get that. I'll do after. I'm gonna get the name of your drug. I know it's a generic version.
right, right, right. It's the yeah, it's
I'm
that
talking about. Is it the same one? Are you
the
guys
same
taking?
one. We got the
Oh,
same.
Yeah.
We literally have
okay,
the same. I don't know if you guys
Yep.
can see it, but
okay,
yeah, it's the
yeah,
same.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Delphamidine.
yeah, that's
What
it.
about baclofen? Did you try that?
The
Because
baclofen, yeah, the baclofen. I need. Well, so I take 20 milligrams, and I pop two of them, two pills, two of them in the morning, and that's my day. Now I can take up to four, but I take two, so and along with my vitamin D, you know,
how
again
much?
huh
How much?
the 10,000
Ten
uh
thousand. All
Yeah,
right,
the
yeah.
yeah
10,000 IUs.
Yo,
that I
because
use, yeah.
in the
Yeah.
states they come in 10,000 pill format, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we
Mhm.
get that here. I think I used to. We used to go to the states to buy that
Here here's
quantity
another
dosage.
here's another thing I'm
Uh,
thinking as we're talking through our medications. So the the concern with delphampridine is seizures, right? That we just
right,
said.
right,
I'm on I'm currently on 1,200 milligrams of gabapentin every day, which is an anti-seizure medication. So I don't know even know if I would have a seizure
Really?
if I stop the gabapentin.
What do you use, Dr. Nick?
I, Hi everybody. Oh,
Right.
so
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. So I'm on an
yeah.
anti-seizure for my spasticity. I'm on dalfampridine for my walking,
Mm,
which also, oh my, it's the wheel of medicine. Just
right. So I mean, you've been taking how long have you been taking?
about 2 years
To, okay,
every day for the
every
most
day.
part. Every day for the most part,
And the 12, like you said, 12 hours. You don't. I mean, like sometimes it may.
I mean, it's within. I would say it's within an hour and a half. So I usually eat breakfast somewhere between 7 and 8:30, and same
Okay,
for dinner. 12 hours later, I'm eating dinner, give or take. So it's not a
gotcha.
hard like.
Okay, yeah,
Nah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, I didn't really know how. So I mean, you know what? I'm gonna try it. You know, I don't know if you guys, drink, a little bit here and there, or like on the weekends or whatever. But I don't know how that would affect. Because I do. I like whiskey. So I
sure,
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'll tell you. I had a neurologist tell me that whiskey is a blood thinner and it's also a relaxer. So you should just, what you can. He was like, yeah, you should have a glass every day.
Yo, ask your doctor. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure doctors will say maybe you shouldn't drink, but
yeah.
that's just a
yeah,
precaution as well, right?
right, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I would say if you're going to start a new medication like that, I would go at least 2 weeks religiously with the 12 hours and the no eating until you
right.
know how it affects you, and then you can just modify it as your life allows.
Gotcha,
You know what I mean?
gotcha, yeah,
But I
gotcha.
would say the first 2 weeks, I would be nothing. I would follow exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see,
Yep.
see how it works. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well, you guys gave me a little bit more confidence to now to really jump out there with it. Because, like I
Oh,
said, it's
appreciate it.
just been sitting over here in my little
Sure.
pill box over here, and I was just like, God, I don't want to fall out. I was just all
Sure.
this, and the
Sure.
internet's not your friend.
No.
So,
Oh, no. No. Um, I'll tell you what, uh, when we're done, uh, when we're done, I'll give you the name of a guy to follow on YouTube, and
okay,
fantastic source. He's a doctor. He's an MS doctor.
right.
So it's a very reliable source of information.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course, of course.
Yeah,
That's what we do. You're part of the community. You're
my
family now.
man, my man,
You know what
my
I mean?
man. Thank you, man.
Are you involved at all with the society? Uh,
I'm not.
okay.
I'm not. I've Googled, I've seen the website, but
All right.
yeah, no, I'm not connected with them,
We can chat. We can chat after, and I'll
Okay.
I'll give you all the ins and outs. So we'll talk about that
Please,
too.
man. Appreciate it, Nick. Thanks.
Terry.
Thanks.
other than your buddy Harlem,
Harlan. Harlan.
Arlen, my bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you know anybody else with MS locally?
Um, a friend of mine. See, a lot. See, well, I know. Well, it's a friend of mine's mom who passed away. I don't. It's not because of people. I don't think people pass away from MS. They pass. It's the complications. It's like that come along with you know the disease. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like you're not able. You're more. Just a domino effect of other things.
Mhm.
But I don't really know. But I know she did have MS. She passed not too long ago. And other than that though, I don't. No, no, no. All the people I know and really talk to are through the gram. Through
Mhm.
through Instagram. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, that's
Absolutely.
where I started meeting everybody too. Yo, my pet peeve is when someone says, yo, I knew someone that had MS. They died of MS. That's my pet peeve because
right,
no one really dies of MS.
right,
MS is not a death sentence in any way, a
right,
complications that, but
right,
yeah, so that's my biggest pet peeve. And just so you know,
right,
when I got diagnosed, you didn't even know I had MS for the first 10 years,
Same.
right,
If
right?
you see
Everybody
me
right.
on
has a
if you
story.
see me on a good day, no cane. You see me on an okay day, cane. You see me on a struggle day, I'm in the wheelchair.
Oh,
So
Nick, you're feeling better today? You know, you get
no,
a lot of
yeah,
those,
I
Yeah.
get
right?
that. Oh man, you looks like you're doing so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when you forget your
Right.
cane, because
yeah,
this is what I gone through a lot of the times. I'd go to a store, put my cane to the side,
Right.
pick up what I needed to pick up, and I start walking out. And they're like,
yep.
buddy, your cane's here. You're like,
I've done that.
I'm not
Right.
faking it, man. I swear. You know,
I've
like
done that too.
that's the invisible illness, man.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yes.
it's so funny because people in the beginning, like people will be like, well, you don't look like you got MS, and I'm
Mhm.
like, what is like? That agitates me a little bit because it's like, what do you mean? No, I first of all, a lot of people just don't know. They don't, and they don't. What I've realized, and what I've observed, was that most people that have it's a snowflake situation, right? Some
Mhm.
people, with that have more lesions like on their brain versus their spine, if they even have any on their spine, they have like cognitive issues or sight issues. A lot of people, if you have a lot of them on your, for mine, and like I said, this is just me research and just people I've talked to and through the gram and things. Those that have the lesions on their spine, quite a few, have those lesions. They have the mobility issues, because my sight is great. And my cognitive skills, I think are okay, are decent, so you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at this point, it's like, people are like, yeah, you don't, now, when, like I said, when I pull out the cane, when I'm, you know, some days, the drop foot, I have an AFO, I put that brace on, and it's so uncomfortable, I take it off, and I'm
Mhm.
just like flapping that foot all over the place, man. I'm just slapping, slap. I can't sneak up on anybody because that foot is. You're
That's
gonna hear that foot a
I got the
mile
same
away.
thing, dude. I always say to my wife, I say, I'm doing bad when you hear me clopping down the hallway.
Right, right, right.
Bro, you never heard of MS before until you got
Right,
it. I'm the same way. I was like, what do I have? And the
right,
person I was with at the time when I got diagnosed started crying because she's heard of it.
right,
She started crying and I thought I was dying. I'm like, what's going on? Right.
right.
So I totally get that. But now that you have it, are you more sensitive to other people's needs? Are you looking at someone who's having struggle and you're like, oh, he might have MS now? You
Very
know,
great question.
I am like
I'm.
the caretaker of everybody now.
Oh man, I'm so like not even just MS. People with disabilities. Period. Any like there was a point in time, I'll just walk I'm just moving around and I'm not, I might pull into a handicap parking space, not even really taking consideration of somebody, that really needs that space. You get what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
may go into a place and just run up the stairs and not really appreciate the handrails. It's the little things now. It's the little things, brother. And it's like I'm so aware and conscious of if things aren't like ADA compliant, because I'm just
Yep.
like I'm like, where's the elevator? Where are the rails? Where's the stuff I never thought about? So I'm sensitive to that stuff now. I'm extremely, and I actually I get a little bothered. Like I get in a real serious tizzy, man. I mean, I'm like, what? Why aren't there rails? Why, how come the door, like, the door, what I mean? Where's the button to hit so the doors can open automatically,
Mhm.
because I mean, and just those little small things,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm, I'm focused on, and like you said, yeah, yeah. To
Bro,
answer your question, yeah,
I'm
man,
such
yeah,
a bitch with all that stuff now.
yeah.
Like, and it's not
Me
even for
too.
me. It's for the next person too. It's like,
Right,
okay, I'm able to do that, but what about the next person?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
All
Two
right.
two
So,
MSers should never hang out
yeah.
together.
Right, right.
We'd be like, yeah.
So
Right.
as we're wrapping up here, what message would you like to say on the show here for your caregivers, your support, your family?
Yeah. I truly appreciate my family. I truly appreciate and adore and love my wife. You know, she has been with me. She's definitely, like I say, she's been with me from the beginning of this situation to, to where I'm at now. And the cries, you know, the when no one's looking, you know, consoling me, and really like letting me know that, I mean, things are going to be okay, you know. Um, I'm every day, and I'm sure you guys can attest to this. It's every day you don't really know what's gonna, you don't know how you're gonna, you just don't know. I mean, some you have your ups and downs. Some days are
Mhm.
better than others, and when my wife, when family, when even my coworkers, at work, when them guys see when they see that I'm a little off, um, they know, and they're right there, you know. So and for the all my MSers, man, I say, look, you just got to keep pushing. You got it, because you know you just being letting this thing just take over you, and just being all depressed and going through, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. I mean, the fact that we woke up this morning, ate breakfast, you know, talked to our kids, talked to our spouses, whatever, you just want to maximize your time, maximize your life. It's imperative. It's imperative, because once you go in that dark place, and I'm sure we all know what that dark place is, it can get rough, bro. It's rough, So, but yeah, that's my
Beautiful.
that's my take. Yeah,
Absolutely
no
beautiful.
doubt, man.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Nick.
Hang out. We'll touch base after we wrap up here, but
Okay,
beautifully
cool.
said. Pleasure to have you on the show. Terry, my brother, great show as always.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, Aton, I'm so appreciative that you showed your vulnerable side. People want to see this, and I didn't even know you had any kids.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a little
Beautiful.
daughter, So yeah, and she's
Beautiful.
10. And that's another, if that's not motivation, I don't know what is.
Hmm.
I gotta be there for her. So,
Unbelievable.
Bro,
Yep,
much love,
absolutely.
man.
all right.
We'll talk, man.
All right,
Appreciate it.
hang out. Thanks everybody for sticking with us,
Yeah.
and we will see you on the next show. Thank you.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4 letter T below zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.